Hey guys, it's Russell back, and on today's video I'm going to show you how to remove a door panel out of this 89 Chevy K1500. Now the reason that I'm doing this is not because of this, but it's because if you can see the weather stripping on both the inside and the outside is damaged and broken. You see what happens when age takes its toll. Now I'm going to be using a couple of tools that I got on Amazon, which I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to use them. They're for pretty much any type of panel, and I'll explain what they're for when we use them. Now when we take the panel off, you're going to see that this inside piece of weather stripping is stapled into the door panel, and I'm going to show you something that's really awesome that'll save you a lot of time. It's not very expensive, and it will give you the exact same result as the way they did it from the factory. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the little cover plates here that expose the nuts. I'll remove this plate right here, and then I'll show you how to get the actual door handle window crank off. A really neat trick that will save you some time. Alright, so you can get these. I'll try to find a link and put these on Amazon. These are awesome. They're made out of plastic. They come in different shapes and sizes, and these are great for popping off plastic buttons like this. You can use this end if you want. And what this will do is, instead of using a screwdriver, it's not going to scratch or damage the panel at all. I'm trying to do this one-handed, which isn't working very good. But anyway, you get the idea. This tool right here is the one I'm talking about to get to disconnect the panel clips. You just slide this in and pop it like that, and you just go all the way around where those plastic clips are. This is the tool you've probably seen before to remove plastic clips. The problem is, with this, you have the force being applied here at the fulcrum. Here, on the tool that most people probably have, one of these or have used one, you're having to pry either against the door, you can scratch the paint, or you're having to pry against the door panel. And I've seen them crack before, and you definitely don't want to do that. So I much prefer this because it's just a snap movement, and it'll pop those loose with no problems at all. Alright, so I figured out if I use the small end of this, can wedge it in there, and it pops out. Now we can go ahead and remove these two bolts, and once that's done, I'll show you how to remove this handle right here. It's got a clip in there. I'm going to show you a trick to get this out. Alright, so again, you're going to take just a clean rag like this. I'm going to take the edge of it and slide it. All I did was slide it down. I'm going to show you what the clip looks like. Okay, it's just this little U-shaped, it's a little U-shaped clip right here. And the way that this fits is this fits like this. There are clips, which I will show you, that go all the way around here. Now the other thing that we have to take off, that you have to be very careful, is we have to remove this bezel right here. Now if you have a Silverado or the truck, it's got power windows and door locks, you'll have cutouts for that here, but just take your pry tool and very gently pop the clips loose, and I think I just heard one break. This is the problem working on something that's 30-something years old. Stuff breaks. I don't know if it did or not, but no, it didn't. We're good. So there's just, in this particular instance, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this right here, this assembly stays here. So we're gonna make sure that we have everything disconnected, which we do. And this door panel just comes straight off. But it's kind of difficult to remove because it's clipped in there. You just have to be gentle. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to move the camera and let you guys see the damage from this weather stripping. Let me first show you, there are these panel clips that they're old and they have basically kind of torn off of the door itself. And see, they're so brittle that this is going to really just break them. So I'm going to take some pliers. We're not going to reuse these, unfortunately. I have brand new ones, but there's a bunch of them. They go all the way around the perimeter. So now when we get to this point, okay, we've got the inner off, obviously. I'm going to take the door handle and just slide it back on there and roll this down. Now we have to get this off, and the way that we get this off, there's some clips that are every so often. And I'm going to show you what tool I'm going to use to remove the clips. All right, this is the tool that I'm going to be using. It's specifically for outside. This is called belt molding, usually. And it's designed to reach around and get under these clips. Now in this particular instance, the piece of molding, weather stripping that we have to replace this does not use these clips. It uses a different way to attach, which is fine by me because these are a pain. This is the factory one. There we go. Alright, so once all the clips are disengaged, you can very gently go ahead and try to pry that up with your fingers. Now, one thing to note is that this piece slides in there, so you may have to remove the mirror. You may not. We'll look at the new piece, but see, this thing's just destroyed. Let me give you a look of the inside of the door panel. Alright, so you can see where the factory has, and this is not supposed to be bent down like that, but it's factory stapled. And these are very hard to pull out. You have to be gentle because this is plastic. But let me show you also, everywhere where you see these slots is where one of the panel keepers went all the way around. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to remove all these staples out of here. We're going to pull them out with some needle nose pliers. I'll show you how to do that, and then I'll show you how to reattach that with staples again, just like the factory did it. All right, so I'm going to start here and work my way down. I'm just going to take a, you can actually take this strip and bend it like that because it's already ripped. I'm going to take a thin screwdriver and I'll push the rubber that had ripped. And the easiest way that I found to do this is to cut the top in half like this, okay? And then just grab the edge and very, very gently roll it out. And do the same on both sides, and it should pull right out. If you try to take the entire thing out at once, it can damage the vinyl here because it's just glued, but very gently just roll it out. So now both of these are out, and all right, so again, I've already pushed the piece of rubber that was here through. I'm going to just slice this with the wire cutters in half. I'm going to grab one side of it and just gently roll, and then it comes right out. I'll do the same thing with the other one. And I like to roll them to the outside on each side. Alright, so here's the old style with the clips. I told you we're not using that again. And here's the new style. It's got the plastic tabs instead of the clips. Much, much, much easier to work with. Now, what we have to do is we have to get this piece of weather stripping in that channel. Through here. So you can take the mirror off if you want. You don't have to. I'm going to try this without the mirror, without taking it off. I'm going to slide it in like that, and this piece has to slide that way. And then it just basically clips down. Oh, there's one other thing I forgot to tell you. On this end right here, I'm gonna have to cut a piece of that tab out. And I'll just take some, I can actually take my wire cutters. See if I can just snip that. There, okay. And then okay, just snaps into place, and that's exactly where it should be. Okay, it should be right maybe 1/2 millimeter from here, from this edge. This should be on the outside, and everything looks good. So let's redeploy the camera here. Now I'm going to open this up, and let's test what happens when I crank the window up. Okay, perfect. Now this design is far, far better than the old clip design. You can see the plastic tabs just kind of lock into, there's a groove on the bottom, and works really, really well. So That's good, and it's supposed to be nice and pliable like that. All right, so let me go ahead and let's get back to the door panel, and I'm going to show you how to attach the inner portion of the weather stripping to the door panel. All right, so I've got our new piece of weather stripping right here. And you can see there's a couple people on YouTube that have put this stuff on different ways. Look, using sheet metal screws or pop rivets and all that is not the proper way to install this. Get one of these. This is an air stapler. It's the same way that they used in the factory to do this exact same job. I'm going to put a link on Amazon. I got this off of Amazon. They're under $40. They come with about 5,000 staples. There's 3 different sizes. I think I used the 5/16. And this makes this job, this will not come off. It makes this job so much easier. And just do it the right way. You can use this for all kind of projects around the house, or, you know, do this stuff for people. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line this up, kind of get it centered on the door panel. You know, about right there. I'm going to go ahead and attach it to my air hose. And you only need about 7 or 8 staples in this. I'm going to give a test and a piece of wood I have. Okay. These are 22 gauge staples. The factory used 20 gauge. They're a little heavier duty. You can get staplers that have 20 gauge, but this seems to be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold this exactly where I want it. Perfect. It's my fault because I'm not holding it steady. See, I did it. Okay. And then we'll... So I'm going to work my way all the way down, and we'll let you see the finished product after it's done. All right, so I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all the way across. And when I was done, you're probably not going to be able to see, but I bent the legs over where they protruded out, and I figured out what I was doing wrong. That was causing the staples to not go in all the way. I was holding it like this. I should have been holding it straight up and down, perfectly perpendicular to the work, not like this. So once I figured that out, they went in perfect. Now, this is what it looks like on this side. Okay, just like the factory did it, and this will last another, hopefully another 30 years. Okay, so the next step would be to go ahead and put our clips into the areas where they go and put the door panel back on. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and shut the video off because I'm not sure I'm going to put the door panel back on just quite yet, because I do need to get the windows tinted, and I'm going to ask my tint guy if it will be easier for him to do it with the door panels off, since that weather strip's not in the way. But anyway, the main point of this is that with a couple very inexpensive specialized tools, you can redo the factory method for doing this. Again, don't use pop rivets, don't use sheet metal screws. That's not going to hold. Staples are the way to go. 8 staples across and you're good to go. All right, guys, if you have any other questions or comments, if you've got other things that you would like for me to show you how to do, because this stuff applies to most automobiles, not just Chevy. It's just what we're working on today. But I appreciate everybody's viewership. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon, and I will talk to you on the next video.